Hello, thanks for joining us. I was asked to tie a version of the Kristil Boatman but in a floating pattern. So again, I'm going to run the same hook. It's the BL200, size 10. Most of the backswimmers I tie are from a size 8 to a size 14. But I like the 2X strong again because fish take these backswimmers, fairly violently at times, and it's and moves a lot of large fish when the hatch is on, so it's well worth running a 2X strong hook. I'll just start with some Nano Silk 12/0 white, and we're doing pretty much the pattern virtually the same as we did with the original version. We just build a thread base, come back 2/3 of the way up the hook shank, and we'll throw in some rubber legs. This time I'll again run the centipede legs. They work just fine. And then once we've got that lashed in, we'll just do a couple of figure eights. Match the legs up for length. Trim. And then just build that little ramp in the back, that tapering ramp with your thread. If you bring the thread just in behind the legs, it'll slightly push them forward, which is sort of what you're looking for. Build my dam up in front of my legs a bit. And get ready to tie in our tail again. 3 or 4 strands of crinkle flash will work. Just wrap that around your thread, bring the flash on top, and just with progressing turns, touching turns, just move your thread back to the bend of the hook. And that locks in your material. And when I cut my tail length, I place my scissors at the back of the bend, 45, and that gives me the length I like to use for the tail on backswimmers. Now we're going to tie in some foam. So basically all I've done is I've taken a 6mm open cell foam, this is the olive, and I've cut it in half so that I have 2 pieces that are cylindrical in shape. Well, we're cylindrical in shape, but it's just cut in half. And I'll apply that, bring my thread slightly forward to attach, stretch out my ruby foam as I'm bringing my thread to the back, and then just tidy that up, just create a little bit of a taper, fill in any holes, add in my 100 or my 1000 SF1000 white straggle, micro straggle, bring my thread up behind, my legs slightly, and I'll apply a drop of head cement here. You don't have to soak it down, just in fact dab it off a little bit if you choose. Now we'll just run touching turns. I just want to check, make sure that's far enough back. Okay, it is. This creates that air bubble. Very prismatic effect coming off this white micro straggle. So it shines a lot of blues and reds and greens. Just depends on what the sun is doing and what the angle is. But it creates a beautiful little air pocket on the Backswimmer for water boatman. And then I'll add in small of just behind the legs. And hopefully I'll get 1 or 2 turns in there. And bring my thread up in front. And now I can just pull my legs back, do my first turns right at the front of the legs, and then start building a slight taper. That thorax just slightly thicker than the abdomen section. Half inch here. Remove any waste. Make sure my legs are, reposition them if I need to. And I just pull my foam forward, right behind the eye of the hook, and I'll lash it in. Not too tight of a turn, you don't want to cut the foam. And I'll now fold my foam back on top of itself. And this is what creates the head. As you notice, you can see it there, and I'll take the foam here and remove this, cut it away, flush. And I'll bring my thread up underneath the foam so that I can whip finish around the hook shank and not the foam. Whip finishing around the foam will eventually loosen off. It's not a very good place to whip finish. If you can get onto the hook shank, that's the better place. If not, then you sort of have to live with it, but definitely the hook shank. There's very few patterns that you tie that you won't be able to finish off around the hook shank. So 1 or 2 whip finish knots in place. And I don't make the shell back fancy because it's part of the, it's a floating pattern. The trout shouldn't be seeing that anyways. Unless you run it on a washing line technique, similar to the booby style fishing with a washing line. Then if you want to fancy up the back, go ahead, by all means go ahead. But I just trim this up just so that the head is nicely shaped to the body. And that's the Kristil Boatman in a floating version. I hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching.